Hello and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, how to get started and how to form your group. Now, if for some strange reason you don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, it's a role-playing game, which means you play or act as something or someone you already aren't. So, for example, you'd pick up the game and you would pretend to be an elven archer named Darkwrath, and you would have to completely involve yourself in being this elf and actually doing as this elf would do depending on your previous choices. So, if you're interested in D&D, the basic things you need to get started are, well, surprisingly nothing. D&D can be played without anything at all. It is your imagination. But it is highly recommended that you at least have some dice. Now, what I would recommend to start playing is a Dungeons and Dragons starter kit, which comes with 6 dice, your basic D4, D6, D10, D12, D20, and anyway, I forget the other. And you also get a player's starter manual, which you can create your character in. You get 10 character sheets. You get a Dungeon Master's manual. You get a a map, pre-made map, and I believe in the player's starter manual there is an already made campaign that, well, a DM, Dungeon Master, you wouldn't really need one to be that creative because you just read straight from the book. Now, basic team, there's no minimum or maximum, but the recommended amount would be 4 players and a Dungeon Master. Now, if you're wondering what a Dungeon Master is, they are pretty much the author of the game. They create your encounters, they create your, it's basically everything that happens in the world of the game. And you choose how to solve the problems that the Dungeon Master hands towards you, basically. Or if you're DMing, you hand the problems out to the players. So how me and my friends got started was my friend Michael was watching TV, and he saw some people playing Dungeons and Dragons on a cartoon of some sort. I think it was Futurama, and he decided that it looked really fun, and he'd heard a lot about it and thought, hey, why aren't we playing that? So he called me up and said, dude, let's start playing D&D, it looks sick. I'm buying a red box starter kit online for $20, $10 shipping if you want to chip in. So I gave him $15, he paid $15, and we got it a week later. Now, by the time it was that week, we'd already contacted about 4 other friends that were keen on playing and said, when we get it, we're going to play. So, also while we waited, we learnt how to play and decided that I'd be the main DM, and that if there were any times that I wanted to play as a character, that Michael would DM. Now, our first game, we didn't know very much, and we just played by the red box. So we only had basic characters, which you can create from the player's starter manual in the red box. And we just used the pre-made map, and I just improvised the whole story. And it turned out pretty well. We didn't have many encounters, we didn't really know how they worked. So if you can't find a group of friends that are willing to play, you can go down to your local comic or trading card store and ask whether you can put up a flyer looking for D&D players, beginner to intermediate, or just ask around, really. if you've heard of DDO, Dungeons and Dragons Online, that is not at all like Dungeons and Dragons. It is like World of Warcraft, like that sort of MMO, though has aspects of Dungeons and Dragons in it, such as the same races, the game rolls for your hit chances and that sort of stuff. So, if you want to start DMing, all you really need to know is how the game works and how encounters work. I've learnt from DMing a few times with my group that they like encounters, but not just like there's 3 monsters there, what do you do to kill them? They like the sort of encounters like there are 2 trolls at the front, an ogre at the back, there's a chandelier above the ogre, and some black liquid on the ground, and they want to try to figure out like that the liquid is oil, set it on fire, kill them, drop the chandelier. They're not that fond of blatantly using their attacks. They get bored of that quite easily, but that depends on your group. Now, when creating a storyline for Dungeons and Dragons, being a DM, you really want to be creative and descriptive. So you want to start like, say, the 4 adventurers bump into each other on a small bridge which is covered in moss going over a slight creek, and then describe what it smells like, how foggy it is, the surroundings around them, and kind of don't railroad them so they have to do something, but sort of drag them in. Like if there's 2 rooms that they could possibly go in a dungeon, you could say you see a glowing light coming from the left room, and that will really make them more want to go to the left room if you want them to go there first. If they don't choose to go there, do not railroad them and make them go there. Just merely change your storyline a bit, mix it up, and we'll let the players change your ideas. That is what makes it a really involving game. So that's basically how you want to start off, what you need, and how to create a group. If you can't find a group of friends, or you've tried putting up flyers, the only information I can give is just to keep trying, and eventually you will find people who want to play with you. So thank you for watching, and I hope you tune into the next episode.